If you've stopped by the Gallant Goblin anytime in the last couple of years, you are probably familiar with the epic Encounter series by Steamforged games. It's one of the best TTRPG series out there with some absolutely amazing minis. Well, Steamforged is just about to launch their next big TTRPG product on Kickstarter, and I am here to get you ready in this paid Kickstarter preview. This is Strangelight Workshop, a 5e compatible standalone RPG set in the Iron Kingdoms universe. Iron Kingdoms is a celebrated TTRPG from Privateer Press that won the Annie Award for Best World, Best Game, and Best Art. It's been around for like 20 years now and has gone through several iterations and rule systems. It's described as a world of arcane science and steam power. They call it Full Metal Fantasy. And the new version, which launched in 2021, is based on the 5e rule set that you most likely already know. It's 5e with all new races and classes and monsters and items based on those 5e mechanics. Steamforged has acquired all the Iron Kingdoms titles and is working with the original lead designer Matt Getz on Strangelight Workshop, which takes the setting in a different direction. Think Hellboy meets Ghostbusters. And this book is designed as a jumping on point for players who might be new to the Iron Kingdom setting, while still providing a lot of satisfying lore to longtime players. You won't need any of the books to play Strangelight Workshop, but there are lots of other books available if you do want to expand your game, and it wouldn't be a Steamforged project without some cool minis. So stick around as I tell you all about Strangelight Workshop. First of all, Strangelight Workshop here is a pretty secretive project even for me. I've gotten teases, I've gotten some art assets, some demo PDFs, but I haven't even seen the full Kickstarter project yet. But you can always click the icon up there in the corner or in the doohickey down below to visit the project page directly. If it's before the campaign launches on July 25th, sign up to be notified when they hit the go button and get in on any possible early bird specials. I don't even know if there are any, but if you're watching this after the project is already launched, you'll be able to find all the details like pledge tiers and add-ons that I am not privy to just yet. But let me share what I do know. In the Iron Kingdom setting, the Strangelight Workshop is an independent organization dedicated to the study of the occult, of the supernatural. They capture, they contain, they study, and sometimes they exterminate those threats that lurk in the shadows just out of the view of most of the general populace. They develop tools and techniques to deal with the threats that most people can't even conceive of. So you can think of them like the X-Files, or Fringe, or Men in Black, or Delta Green, or the Librarians, or Harry Dresden. You get the idea. But this is an organization firmly placed in the Iron Kingdom setting. The Strangelight Workshop appeared as a blurb in the original Iron Kingdoms World Guide back in 2005. It really is like a fantasy steamwork version of the Ghostbusters, using strange anachronistic technology to clear out haunted houses. The organization has appeared in several adventures and setting books over the years, but this is our first deep dive into it. Strangelight leans heavily into items as ways of customizing your characters before each adventure. Your team can requisition prototypes before heading out into the field. Think about all those really awesome Q scenes in those James Bond movies. Facing off against some ghosts, you might want some anti-spectral ammunition. Need to bring in a suspect? Maybe your bouncer would benefit from a galvanic subduer. Expecting to face off against a horde of Grimkin? Hook your jammer up with an emergency multi-spectral plasma field generator. Or if you just need to light up every in a room, just ask your quartermaster for a pyro thrower. Just fill out the right forms and be sure to return the items at the end of the assignment. And since they are prototypes, be a good beta tester and report any bugs to your quartermaster, assuming they weren't lethal bugs, of course. The book will feature some new classes: the bouncer, the caller, the investigator, the jammer, and the Strangelight mechanic. And this is a perfect time to show off some of the new minis. Keep in mind that the ones I'm showing you here are just printed prototypes for now. This is the Bouncer, your melee-focused class. Not all threats are supernatural, and when you're facing down a room full of gang members and mercenaries and corrupt city guards, you're gonna be happy to have a little bit of muscle on your side. And here we have the Caller class. The Caller is able to bridge the divide between the living and the dead. They are psychically sensitive people who can sense supernatural creatures like spirits. They can also try to convince spirits that the grass is greener on the other side, but should that fail, they have some forceful measures up their sleeves as well. Next up is the Investigator. As the name implies, they are not necessarily the ones on the front lines, but they'll be thinking their way through the problems, noticing clues, operating the equipment, and keeping the story moving forward. I suspect you are going to want at least one investigator on your team. This mini is the Jammer. The Jammer is to the supernatural what the Bouncer is to the mundane. They're not only the muscle of the party against the ghoulies, but they are also the tank. They carry special equipment that lets them deck ghosts, but it also protects them and others against possession. They also have a unique resource called Block that they can use for defensive purposes. And here is the Strangelight Mechanic. They are tinkerers, inventors, engineers who keep all the fancy gear in tip-top shape. Remember me telling you that those prototypes can sometimes malfunction? Well, the mechanic protects you against that. They might also be able to direct those malfunctions against foes. And there are some additional surprises, probably as a campaign unfolds as well. And if you have other Iron Kingdoms books, you can use those classes as well if you enjoy that. Keep in mind that the Strangelight Workshop is known for bringing in consultants on particularly sensitive missions, so there's always room for additional assistance. In addition to the main Strangelight Workshop book, you can also pick up the Spectronomicon, your Strangelight bestiary with lots of undead and infernal and supernatural and cryptid foes to test the mettle of your team. The Spectronomicon also provides so-called haunting rules that will allow the GM to alter up encounters to make them more challenging or more complex or just plain weirder. Again, I love an adventure where you never know what you're going to face off against around the next corner. And if you're a collector or just like fancy things, there will be a special edition cover of the book available as well. Again, check out that campaign page for all those details. And if you'd like a taste of the Iron Kingdoms and the Strangelight Workshop, there is a free RPG module out there called A Strangelight Breaks from 2022. We'll have a link for that down below. You can run your little adventure early on here. But otherwise, that's all I know for right now. Again, check out the campaign page to get even more information and hopefully previews of even more minis. Using our links in the corner up there or in the doohickey down below lets them know we sent you. And as always, my Kickstarter disclaimers. Kickstarter is not a store. You are funding the creation of a new project. You won't get your books and goodies right away, but if you check the campaign page, you'll find the estimated fulfillment dates. Generally, you're going to be paying for shipping right before the product leaves the warehouse, so be sure you watch your email for those Pledge Manager emails a couple of months from now. And as always, there's always a little bit of risk in backing Kickstarters, but with established companies like Steamforged Games, you should be just fine. But do read through the campaign page to make sure you are comfortable before you back. And stay tuned here for even more Steamforged products. We have reviews of every single Epic Encounter box so far, plus so much more. My name is Theo, and you can find me and my reviews of minis and books and adventures and accessories and more over at The Gallant Goblin on YouTube. And you can find my socials right over here. For now, though, please stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at The Gallant Goblin.